Did you know that each and every emotion that you feel in your body was first produced by a corresponding thought? That's right, you first had a thought, which then triggered your brain to release chemicals into your body, which then made you feel that emotion. And in this video, we're going to be filling in all the different states of consciousness, states of being, and you will find yourself on one of these levels. It's best we can help identify where you are. Only then can we transcend into higher levels of consciousness, live a happier life. How do you view yourself? How do you view others? How do you view the world around you? How do you view God? These questions are going to help answer where you are along this consciousness chart. Let's get started. Before I get started though, if we're going to thoroughly analyze this consciousness chart by David R. Hawkins, he does outline some very deep, dark, depressing states of consciousness found down at the lower states. It's not all rainbows and sunshine and spirituality. We first must become aware. Only by becoming aware of our states of being and the states of being of those around us can we transcend these low vibrational states of consciousness, go up into the higher ones, live a happier life. Now we can get started. I'm going to start from the ground up. Lower levels of consciousness up to the higher ones. Get a bit of motivation going, but the low ones are quite dark, and we're starting with shame. At this low vibrational state of shame, one's primary feelings are those of humiliation. This is where most thoughts of suicide are found, and this is where most victims of abuse can also be found. As we move up from shame, we can too find another state of consciousness that is very low. This is guilt. At the low vibrational speed of guilt, many feelings of worthlessness are found, as well as one's inability to forgive oneself. Never be too hard on yourself for the things you have done in the past. We are always growing, always learning. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Transcend guilt. You can forgive yourself. As we move up from guilt, we find another low level of consciousness known as apathy. At this state, many feelings of hopelessness and despair are found. It is commonly found in people who are homeless or living in poverty. In this low state of being, one has become numb to the world around him. Moving up, we find another low level of consciousness known as grief. Grief is led by failure. Many of us have experienced this low level of consciousness in our life because it is led by failure, inability to succeed. However, those who find their most dominant vibration is that of grief live in constant feelings of regret and remorse. They feel that their opportunities have passed them and that they are ultimately a failure. Guys, the clock is always ticking. It's never too late to try something new, to try be good, to try serve others, to try live a happier life, to hope. There is always hope that today or tomorrow can be a brighter day. Moving up from grief, we find fear. Fear is a state of consciousness where you think that everything is out to get you. People who have found themselves in abusive relationships will rest their dominant vibration in fear. They are constantly worrying that there is an external force out to physically hurt them. It's a sticky one. People living in this state often experience paranoia as well as defensiveness. They never let their guard down because they always think something is out to get them. But don't worry guys, we're moving up in the consciousness chart now. It's getting happier. Moving up from fear, we find a level of consciousness of desire. Desire can sometimes be something that motivates us to change. It can be a level of consciousness that can push you upward in life. However, it is often a lower level of consciousness. People stuck in the stage of desire often find themselves enslaved by money, power, sex, prestige. Although it can be a motivating state of consciousness, it is often an enslaving one, where one is stuck by his desire persistent desire for other things. Moving up from desire, we find anger. Anger is a state of consciousness most commonly found when people of desire do not get what they want. People enslaved in the need for sex or money or power, when they don't get what they want, they can seemingly transcend desire but rest in a low vibrational state of anger. People living in the state of anger are often frustrated and never fulfilled. Moving up from anger, we find what is known as pride. Pride, when compared to these lower vibrational states, people can actually feel happy or positive in the state of pride. However, it is a false positive. It is a positive feeling associated with external conditions such as money, power, or fame. The low vibrational frequency of pride is also the source of racism and nationalism. Moving up, we find the vibration of courage. Courage is the first true feeling of empowerment. It is also a vibration that does not suck life energy from those around you. Being in the state of courage, you realize that you are no longer a victim of society. You don't have to be thrown about by life's external conditions. You are the captain of your life, and you begin to realize that you are the only one here to save you. You are the only one that can help you grow and succeed in life. Nobody is coming to help you. It is a feeling of empowerment that you have to now go up and get what you want. Otherwise, it's not going to come. Feeling good now, aren't we? Moving up to neutrality. This is a state of flexibility in life. For the most part, you are unattached to the outcomes in life and you are somewhat happy with your current life. However, in neutrality, it suggests you are neutral. You are not really striving for growth or success. In neutrality, you don't make the necessary sacrifices required to achieve a greater you. However, you are somewhat content with your current life. Moving up to willingness. Here you are now an optimist. It is those people who see possibility and those people who take upon possibility. Those people who succeed in life are often found in willingness. Those people who see opportunity, optimism. In willingness, you strive to do your best at whatever task you've set yourself. You begin to develop self-discipline and willpower in order to succeed and get to the end of your task without quitting. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention, in the book Power versus Force by David R. Hawkins, this is essentially where this consciousness chart comes from. He mentions that 78% of people live below the low state of consciousness of pride. That's right, 78% of people live in a state of pride or below. This is around the 200 mark on the consciousness scale, which corresponds to about 40 megahertz in your vibrational speed. 78%, that just blew my mind. Guys, we need to raise our vibration. We really need to become aware of our low levels of frequency, our low vibrational speeds. We need to become aware, we need to transcend. Okay, the goal of life is to be happy, to enjoy oneself, to live out our life in fulfillment. Only by becoming aware of what we have learned here, although some of them may seem dark and deep and depressing, 78% of people live here, constantly live out their life through these low vibrational emotions, as I've said. Transcend. Become aware, transcend, enjoy. But let's move on. We've got some very happy states of consciousness left. Moving up from willingness, we find acceptance. Now, if we go back down to courage where we realize that we are the source of our life, we are the creator of our life. Acceptance is where you capitalize on this. Acceptance is where you say, okay, I am the only one that can do this for me. I'm gonna go out and do it. When you are in a state of acceptance, you have now become the creator of your life. You are now the creator of your destiny. You are mastering the manifestor consciousness stage. You're literally creating your life as you please. This is a great place to be. Acceptance is where you awaken to your potential and you begin to push your limitations, push your boundaries, grow. Remember guys, growth and comfort aren't friends. You cannot grow but still be comfortable at the same time. Acceptance is where you are aware that you choose growth. You are not comfortable anymore. You are growing out of your comfort zone. Acceptance. Very good. Moving up to reason. In reason, you do not spend time doing anything that doesn't create value for yourself. You are always obtaining knowledge, always bettering yourself, always self-improving in the state of reason. In the state of reason, there is such desire for knowledge and self-improvement that people can often stumble when they move up this chart into reason, because their desire for self-improvement is so strong that sometimes if they don't get that self-improvement, they can stumble back and fall down this consciousness chart. So it's a stepping stone, but you need to correctly reach the state of reason and then move upwards. Because if you're too focused on obtaining knowledge and getting this and self-improvement, it's going to be overwhelming at times. Moving up from reason, we find love. Love. I love you. What does that mean? In the state of love, you see that you have the potential to benefit mankind. You see what you can do as the greater good for mankind. You love one another. You want other people to succeed. You want others to be happy. This is a very beautiful state to be in. We don't have enough people on this planet in the state of love. We need people to raise others, help others, improve others. Love. In the state of love, you live by your intuition. You are in a charitable state. You are always helping. In love, you have no desire but the welfare of others. Moving up from love, we experience joy. Joy is where you will find most of these saints as well as advanced spiritual teachers. Moving up to joy, the love becomes unconditional. No personal tragedy or loss in life can ever shake you from this high state of consciousness. If you are feeling joy, you're not going to fall down. In the state of joy, you inspire all that are around you. You are able to lift to a higher level all that come into contact with you. In joy, your life is now in complete harmony. You are living in a very high level of fulfillment, joy. Moving up from joy, we can find us in a state of peace. Peace is the way you feel after you have lived a life of complete fulfillment. You have followed the ways of the divine creator. You have found spirituality and lived a spiritual, harmonious life. You have transcended everything there is to transcend, and you enter a place that David Hawkins calls illumination. Here, a stillness and silence of mind is achieved. But it is believed that only 1 in 10 million people on this planet will ever reach a state of peace. If 1 person in every 10 million will reach the state of peace, that means with a population of 8 billion, 100 million, 1 billion, we have around 800 people living on this planet in a state of peace. So to end off this video with one of the highest states of consciousness that has ever been reached, we call this enlightenment. Very few people in the history of mankind have reached a state of enlightenment. We're talking about people like Jesus Christ, Buddha, Krishna. You reach a level of God consciousness. People who reach a state of enlightenment will go down in history as some of the greatest leaders, founders of religions, people who influence all of mankind are found in enlightenment. I would be very interested to know if there's anybody living in enlightenment on this planet right now. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope by now you figured out what level of consciousness you are operating at and what you need to do to transcend this in order to increase your perception, increase your awareness, increase your consciousness, live a happier life, become aware of the true ways of the world. Have a blessed day. I'll see you next time.